fan because I called his coming out fight against Bradis Prescott.
He's
and
special.
then various other stepping stones throughout his career.
I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock the world.
1,000%. Absolutely right.
I also think Canelo is slowing down.
I was just going, I didn't give Canelo more than like 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 if I'm just being generous.
You know, becoming the first undisputed world champion in the 4-belt era in 3 different weight classes. Really, and the way he did it, and you know, the class that he showed.
Joe Rogan shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford's stunning victory over Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing how Crawford continues to thrive in the face of doubt. Rogan noted that whenever critics question Crawford's ability to rise to the occasion, it only ignites a deeper fire within him, fueling his relentless drive to prove them wrong. Highlighting Crawford's slick footwork, razor-sharp precision, and impeccable timing, Rogan praised the welterweight champion for showcasing elite-level power and technique on boxing's grandest stage. According to Rogan, this win solidifies Crawford's status as one of the most technically gifted fighters in the sport today. Following the bout, Hill tweeted, "I'm now convinced Crawford would beat any version of Floyd Mayweather." This bold statement echoes a growing sentiment in the boxing world, as Crawford's performance has elevated his legacy to unprecedented heights. By defeating a superstar like Canelo, Crawford has not only silenced critics but also sparked serious debate about his place among the all-time greats. His dominance across multiple weight divisions and his extraordinary ability to adapt in the ring have many believing he may one day surpass even the legendary, undefeated Floyd Mayweather.
Ready to subscribe totally to that because, again, you're talking about somebody who is stubborn.
And sure.
Who wants to prove everything he can prove.
100%. I agree with that too. But I think there's like in boxing and certainly in MMA, there's a certain amount of years where a fighter can keep the RPMs up. And, you know, when they're in the red line, and there's some people subscribe to the idea of 9 years. There's 9 years is the most that a elite fighter in MMA has performed at their prime. I think that's a bullshit number because I think it's entirely dependent upon lifestyle, nutrition, discipline, physical attributes. There's a lot of factors.
George Foreman won the heavyweight championship of the world in boxing at age 45.
True, but he took 10 years off.
Yeah.
Veteran commentator Gareth hailed Terence Crawford's performance against Canelo Alvarez as one of the most extraordinary displays boxing has ever seen. He emphasized that Crawford didn't just step up in competition, he moved up 3 weight divisions, faced a younger opponent, and entered the ring after more than a year of inactivity. Despite those daunting odds, Crawford delivered a masterclass in skill, strategy, and composure that, according to Gareth, belongs in the history books. This, Gareth declared, was a once-in-a-lifetime display of greatness. He urged fans to recognize the magnitude of what Crawford accomplished, overcoming every conceivable obstacle and surpassing all expectations with poise and dominance rarely witnessed in the sport. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson took to X, formerly Twitter, to offer heartfelt respect, not only to Crawford but also to Canelo. Respect to Canelo. There's a lot of soft fighters in the sport who are scared to fight other greats. But salute to you, champ, for not being afraid to put it all on the line against anybody. You are a legend. Stevenson's words serve as a poignant reminder. Greatness in boxing isn't defined solely by victory, but by the courage to face the best, even when the outcome is uncertain. Canelo's willingness to embrace risk.
Throughout the course of the week, we said that this is a game of IQ. There's going to be movement within the fight. You're going to have to answer different types of questions and bring different types of game plan. Crawford did that. He was able to do it backwards. He was able to do it forwards. He could trade in the pocket, catch the stuff, and then counter. He was absolutely magnificent. Listen, I know this is raw and we've only just walked out the stadium, right?
10 minutes ago.
And when the dust settles on this, we'll probably have better answers and better thought processes. And I'm sure people watching this will get stuck into the comments and maybe say what I'm about to say is quite outlandish. That might be the single best performance that I have ever witnessed live. It was absolutely tremendous. You've got to take into consideration the weight jump. This is a man that was champion at 135, 140, 147, and obviously recently at 154. But let's be honest, he even jumped up to 154 pounds for that. To go then up to 168 and take on the former pound-for-pound #1 king on a Mexican holiday weekend in Las Vegas and managed to beat him on the cards when the judges tried to do him, mate, it is out of this world what Terence Crawford just did. And he needs all the flowers in the world, he needs all the praise in the world, and I don't think you're wrong, mate. by saying he's the pound for pound number one. It's an ever-moving list. That performance alone deserves to put him right at the top of the
Yeah, he's become. There's an argument that he becomes an all-time great with that performance, like you say, because the majesty, the poise, the presence all week, the pinpoint accuracy of everything he did in there, to the fact that in the end Canelo was frustrated and knew he couldn't do anything to Crawford, and he started
visibly frustrated, wasn't it?
No, visibly frustrated that he started to do a weird kind of showboating because he didn't have any answers for what was happening and unfolding in front of him. I think Terence Crawford has rubber-stamped himself as an all-time great tonight, and I want to revise a view on him. I wondered whether he would have been capable of beating Floyd Mayweather at welterweight.
Oh, you're going for it now, aren't you?
And I think, yeah, we got to. I think he made...
Pauli Malignaggi underscored the historic nature of Terence Crawford's achievement, noting that becoming an undisputed champion across 4 weight divisions is an exceptionally rare feat. What made it even more remarkable, he said, was the manner in which Crawford accomplished it, dominating a fighter of Canelo Alvarez's caliber with precision and poise. Malignaggi drew a powerful comparison between Crawford's current dominance and Floyd Mayweather's control of the sport during his prime, suggesting that this moment marks the beginning of Crawford's era. More than just a win, Malignaggi framed the fight as a symbolic shift in boxing's power structure, crowning Crawford as the defining fighter of this generation.
Flawless. I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special. It's one of those things now, because now I've now seen back-to-back generations of Floyd Mayweather and Bud Crawford, and man, you know, it's one of those things where now I understand why the people that lived in the Ray Leonard era say, you know, wish we could see Ray Leonard against Mayweather, and how that would be. Because it just leaves such an empty feeling when you have such special fighters that were in different generations, and you saw both of them. You know, I saw the entirety of the Mayweather generation. I saw the entirety of the Bud Crawford generation. Just incredible. Really, really incredible. And I know Mayweather gets a lot of hate, but for me, he's a tremendous, tremendous fighter. And Terence Bud Crawford is in that realm as well. And it's a fight we'll never get to see. So what are we going to do, you know? It'll be up to the fantasy fights, you know. But let's get into it, man. I want to get into the undercard as well and some of my thoughts on the Netflix show. But let's get into the main event first. Crawford really boxed very, very well, very, very intelligently. The question mark was what happens when Crawford gets hit cleanly. I'm not sure he got hit cleanly the whole fight. You know, he got hit with some partial shots. Some shots landed cleanly, but by the time Canelo started landing anything cleanly, I think he was hesitant because he was getting countered so much that he was taking some of the steam off the shots in order to hope to be more accurate. Because even late in the fight, there were a couple of shots that Canelo landed, but they barely moved.
One fan captured the spirit of the night with a heartfelt tweet: "True competitors are all champions. There is no loss in the pursuit of sincere glory. Thank you and congratulations to Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. The warrior spirit won tonight." This message resonated with many, as it reflected the deep respect both fighters earned, reminding the boxing world that greatness isn't solely measured by wins and losses, but by the courage to step into the ring and chase glory with everything on the line. Meanwhile, Bill Haney, father and trainer of Devin Haney, offered a bold take, declaring that Crawford's dismantling of Canelo Alvarez looked even easier than his dominant victory over Errol Spence. Haney said he had seen this outcome coming, pointing once again to Crawford's generational greatness. His perspective underscores just how effortlessly Crawford seemed to handle a fighter as decorated and experienced as Canelo. By comparing it to the Spence fight, Haney highlighted Crawford's growing ability to systematically neutralize elite opponents, making each performance appear more refined and decisive than the last.
I wasn't scoring. I didn't give Canelo more than like 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 if I'm just being generous.
Can't get away from this
Maybe.
fucking crowd.
Are you shocked or not?
Hey, right here to my left.
Are you shocked or not?
No, I'm not shocked. I knew that if you kind of fight.
This fan tweeted, "Crawford is out of one." Observer summed up the magnitude of Terence Crawford's triumph with a blunt, undeniable truth: he's in his prime and older than Canelo. Bud beat him fair and square. No catchweight or nothing. I mean, he lost to a fighter who came up 3 weight classes. No excuses. This reaction perfectly captured the essence of Crawford's achievement. Despite being the older man and moving up 3 weight divisions, Crawford didn't just win, he dominated. There were no mitigating factors, no controversies, and no concessions. It was a clean, definitive victory that left nothing open to debate. Analysts across the boxing world echoed the sentiment that this fight wasn't about belts or pay-per-view numbers, it was about legacy. From the moment the bout was signed, the narrative was clear: the winner would be recognized as the greatest fighter of this era. With his performance, Crawford didn't just win the fight, he claimed the crown. Experts praised Crawford's flawless execution, noting how he completely neutralized Canelo's strengths while showcasing his full arsenal of skills: footwork, timing, precision, and ring IQ. The conversation has now evolved. No longer are analysts debating if Crawford belongs among the all-time greats. The only question now is, where exactly does he rank in boxing history?
Exactly. And you guys knew what was going to happen. You were in denial. That shit looked easier than Earl Spence. Did it look, huh?
It's a brilliant performance. Brilliant
performance, man. Shout out to Team Crawford, Bo Mack, and that whole team, man. You know what I mean?
Where'd you rank him all-time list after that?
I mean, put his face on Mount Rushmore. You dig what I'm saying? He deserves his place, for sure.
Did you score it, Bill?
Yeah, I scored it a lot for Crawford and a very little for Canelo. If any. I don't know.
116, 112?
I don't know. I mean, I could pick one or two. I could pick one or two in there or something like that.
I know it's straight after the fight. But do you want to see Crawford go out on that, or do you think there'll be a rematch?
No, I don't hear a bunch of partying going on. I listen. It sounds like a funeral home in Allegiant Stadium. Did Crawford win? It sounds like it's a funeral home. Look, you see over there. You see it's quiet. It's quiet as shit. Yeah. Is it a holiday or what? Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen, that's a Crawford fan. He's Mexican. Now, listen. Hey, y'all know what's up. Crawford did it. And only person that's talking is me. November 22nd. If you don't want to hear nothing else, Crawford is great. November 22nd,